Hey guys, Clint Flair Woo here, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Yes, this is World Wars in the background. I wanted to show this because this is a simple, fun, addictive PvP shooter. Yeah, there's PvE elements, there's loads of episodes, which is really cool, but PvP, in my opinion, it shines so bright because it's a simple pick-up play game that is accessible for anyone and everyone. And obviously there's classes, and you level up those classes to make your PvP character even stronger. You choose the class that you want. You've got 10 to choose from. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'm going on and on and on about this game because I really enjoy it. However, this is about Division 2. This is about PvP, and I'm going to call it. I'm sorry, guys. PvP in Division 2 is poor. It is very, very poor to the point it's trash. I have had zero fun PvP in this game, and that's in no word of a lie. I have no fun whatsoever. And then putting a build together, making an OP build, I have tried that, I have tested it, and it just cannot compete. They cannot compete, you know. And on paper these builds are really, really strong. In PvP they cannot compete against the Vectors, the M60s. The talents on the weapons, the talents on the gear have made these particular weapons super strong to the point where competing is exceptionally tough. And that's just competing. Dominating is nigh on impossible, in my opinion, if you're not running with an M60 or a Vector. And that's all you will see in Division 2, whether it be skirmish, with domination, or the dark zone. You will see the odd survivalist specialization running with an assault rifle. You do see the odd one here and there, admittedly, yes you do. However, but for PvP it's all about the Vector, it's all about the M60. And those weapon archetypes, the LMGs and the SMGs, have not had any nerfs. There's been a nerf on the talents, unhinged especially on an M60, but we're looking in terms of gear. We've got Safeguard Patience, so for healing, they've been triple nerfed in the very least. And then you've got Berserk, Strained. You know, you are losing a lot of this. So yeah, okay, fair enough. Will they still be viable? And of course they will, because they're really powerful weapons. But the fun element of the game, of building, that I had in Division 1, and the thousands and thousands of hours I've pumped into the game, compared to the hundreds of hours I've pumped into this game, how do I feel? And as it stands from this moment in time, I'm at a point where I don't want to play PvP in the Division 2. I really don't. Whether it be the character movement, whether it be build diversity, whether it be weapon diversity, whether it be, again, the lack of imagination from other players, because there's so many builds that you can put together, but at the same time, once you do, you struggle to compete against these fantastic, overpowered gear and weapons. That's my problem, is competing is tough. It's really, really tough. And I've put out many builds, and they don't really work as intended, and that's frustrating. It really is for me, someone who wants to deliver you guys content, deliver builds that are viable and kick ass against other players. And the problem is the diversity on that is minimal. It's simple as that. And again, there's going to be a patch come this week, and for PvP, yeah, there's going to be, everyone's builds are going to be slightly different, but there'll be a new way about how to spec into, and we'll see this on Thursday, Friday this week, of some great builds that Marcus Stars puts out, MTashed, Weirdz, so on, so on. You know, and it's to a point now where I'm at a frustrating point. As someone is, again, someone's got 2,000 plus subscribers, and I want to keep building and growing, and in this game, and I'm a PvP player at heart, in this game I'm having no fun for PvP. PvE, I'm still enjoying it, I'm still having a lot of fun, but unfortunately there'll come a point where that interest will wane. And then if I'm not enjoying PvP, which I don't think I will in 3 or 4 or 5 months time, so where do we go next? And that's not just for me, that's for a lot of content creators, because PvP is trash. It genuinely is. And I don't know what they're going to do to improve the current state of affairs. What do you feel can be changed in the Division 2 to make the game at least playable. I mean, forget PvE, we're not talking about PvE, we're talking about PvP. And how can we get this game in a better state? And the first thing for me would be the movement. You compare the movement in Division 1 to Division 2, and it's a massive backward step. You know, it really is. It's a huge backward step. And if you remember, throughout various patches in the Division 1, you had different metas, whether it be one-shot stickies, one-shot seekers, sentry shotgun, alpha ridge builds, you know, all these builds throughout the patches, throughout the updates and years. There was a lot of change, whereas in this one, I don't know what they're going to do to change the current meta. And buffing, and a lot of things need buffing to make these builds viable. I mean, the one idea I had, I mean, again, people shoot this down very quickly. Rather than nerf all these talents, nerf all this gear, why don't we buff everything that needs buffing? Why don't we buff skill builds to the point where skill builds are viable? You can use a skill build in PvP. Of course, you can use the one-shot seeker. Remember if that came back? Yeah, and again, people go, no, don't have the one-shot seeker. No. But at least it'll combat people running an SMG. So people will have to change. People will have to shake things up and utilise different builds. Make a flame turret OP. Bring back the dragon. Hashtag, let's start that now. Let's get it trending. Bring back the dragon. That's what I'd love to see. Is buff these skills so they are super duper strong. That will encourage people to use skill builds. Okay, and again, that people say, you put the game in a bad state of affairs, it should be SMG, LMG, AR. Guys, first and foremost, this is an RPG shooter. It's not a shooter with a few RPG elements, it's an RPG shooter. That's how the game is defined, so why don't the RPG elements, why don't they work as intended? Why can't they be super strong? You know, in PvE they're okay. They're okay at best. You know, and maybe if you get a perfect build for skill builds in PvE, they can be good. They can be, but for PvP they are trash. The game is who can shoot quickest, fastest, strongest. It's all about DPS. That's what PvP is about, and in most games where a big card of Battlefield, that's exactly what you want, and that's what makes those games successful for those current genre of players that enjoy the first-person shooters. That's it. Whereas the Division 2 is not. It's an RPG shooter. You know, and again, the RPG elements in the game need to be at the forefront of the game. You need to be able to adapt and work around these awesome skills, and they are not viable. They're simply not viable in PvP, and very lackluster in PvE. So I'd love to see a buff. I would love to see a kick-ass buff. Make these builds OP. Make these talents and these gear OP. Leave Vector where it is. Leave the LMGs where it is. Do not nerf them. Do not leave them be and buff everything else. You know, first thing someone will say, make it a shitstorm. It genuinely will. But is that what you want to see in the Dark Zone, or do you want to see how it is at the minute? And again, it is boring, monotonous DPS. That's it. There's no variety. There is no variety whatsoever. So it's the same players doing the same stuff with the same builds. You know, and I'm seeing the same guys I saw 5 weeks ago with the same build. That's it. And again, if you want diversity back, you have to buff skills. That's it. They have to be buffed to be competitive in PvP. So you can see these awesome OP healers. You can see these super tanks. You can see these players that have a fantastic little dragon, little turret that's going to blow you away. And you know you can't go anywhere near it. So you have to forget on the box. You have to counter it. That's what RPG shooters are all about. Division 2 is not that. It's a piss poor PvP experience, in my opinion. They've really cocked up, and there needs to be a way back. And other than buffing skills, I do not see a way back through the door. I don't. And if it doesn't change, it doesn't go around the direction it needs to go in, it's going to lose a lot of players very quickly. You know, you go on the forums, go on Reddit, you go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, social media, go on other YouTubers or content creators channels, and you'll see the negativity towards Division 2 PvP. but again, they all enjoy the PvE elements of the game. So what needs to change? Really, guys, what needs to happen to get us to be where we need to be? And again, skills is the first thing they need to look at to improve. Just give them a buff, a huge buff to say, come on guys, there you go. You have 8 fantastic skills. Shield build, bring it back. You know, for just to make it OP. There's so many options. That's what I want to see. Let's see some awesome Firefly builds or Hive builds. Let's do it. Come on, guys. That's what I want. I don't think it'll happen. Massive won't listen to this. They won't watch it. I guarantee that. I want to see change. And change is needed before it's too late. Guys, I'd love to hear what you have to say. You may not agree with this video. You may go, he's talking a load of shit. And if you feel that way, then fair enough. That's your opinion. I respect that. But one thing you will agree with me, it's currently shafted. It's currently rotten to the core, so things need to change. Rather than nerf everything, I'm going to nerf this, change. Change is good. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed this one. If you have, drop a like. If you want to see more Division content, sub to the channel. Please comment. I'd love to see this have a really good topical debate on how can we improve the Division 2 PvP. Okay guys, catch you in the next one.